What's up, everybody? New Second Awakened monsters were released about a week ago, which means that people have had enough time to Second Awaken them and ruin them up and start using them and see how they like them in RTA. Now, some of them are good for Guild Wars, some of them are good for different stuff aside from that, but there are a few, select few, that people were talking about using in RTA, namely Miho, Xiaoling, Mina, and who else? Ashir and Vigor. I don't know if they're going to use the water cat and the water wolf. Some people are talking about using them. Let's take a look at some RTA matches. Let's see who's using what, and let's see how viable it actually is. First match, of course, like Dark Nat 5's come out first, and we see a Chow, we see an Ashir. So let's see what this Ashir's get. That's a weird second draft, though. Guardian account. Let's see how they actually do. Resist. How slow is that? How slow is that Ashir? Do they not have, maybe they don't have runes on anything. No, I'm just kidding. I know they have runes. But that is a very slow Ashir. I'm actually shocked that that's that slow. Maybe he's full DPS. But they have no defense breaks, though. I'm really, because his base speed is amazing. How do you get the Ashir that slow compared to the other stuff? Asking for a friend. I don't know. He's got to be HP or damage HP. Right? He's got to. I feel like the Ashir should be faster. But... you know, maybe he's gonna do a crazy amount of damage after his buff. Okay. Hooray! Hooray! Finesse had like no HP left. Does a crazy amount of damage, guys. GG. Actually, the nice thing about Vertiheal is you don't see Jean too much. Jean too much because Vertiheal already counters it. So now we're seeing, can they cycle enough turns? I mean, Tetra also counters it. There's other stuff. Fran counters the immunity, whatever. But just the fact that so many people are first picking Vertiheal and Fran. I don't think this thing is going to do anything. Why is he so slow? They could have had so many more turns. They could have had so many more turns to do stuff if they were not so slow. I think that the problem is not the monster. The problem is their runes. They ruined him bad. Here we go. European player. Very. That's Sweden. That's, I know, because PewDiePie, and I can't, Here's another one. This is another one with the Dark Cat. A lot of people actually playing with this thing. You see, they have a lot of, so the Dark Cat, I'm noticing, is a last pick unit, and it's very smart to last pick unit, because if they bring in a whole bunch of supports that already counter the Dark Cat, because if they bring a bunch of stuff that doesn't crit, then what's the Dark Cat going to do? If they start bringing in a whole bunch of crit stuff, then... Dark Cat, right? So, situational 5th pick. A lot of stuff on that team crits. Diana crits. Look at that. The eye for an eye passive is going to activate every time crits. So, Diana's going to crit. Yep, look at that. Diana's going to crit. Vertiheal's going to crit. Probably not too much Triana's, but that Dark Cat might be a tremendous pain at this point. But if you go up against like a Lauren, a Fran, a Lucia... like, you really wouldn't pick the Dark Cat. And I think the Dark Cat's going to be good against Cleaves, too. Starts to take off some HP. Finish it with the Molong. And now Diana's going to go for the Molong. Finish it off. No! Does not go for that. Diana goes for the Lauren. The Lauren is more of a threat than the Molong is, though. Is he going to be able to take out this Mina, though? Or is it going to be a Mina solo? Oh, there we go. Start to see some Mina action. Mina could be dangerous, though. Like, yeah, go up to... just ignore the Mina for right now. But left himself susceptible. He could have got messed up with that Dark Cat skill 1. So there was a couple crits, there was a couple non-crits. That's how he's going to kill that Dark Cat, though. Is that the Dark Annabelle. The Dark Occult Girl. So... let's see. That's how he's got to do it. Because aside from that, he's hoping to not crit. It's gonna keep critting. If that's built with 100% crit rate, and he's going after the dark. He's going after the dark one because you can't kill it. Like that's the Dark Occult Girl is the only chance that they have of winning. That's why he's targeting that specifically. You see the choices that they're making in the units that they're hitting. And he was more going for the stun. He wasn't trying to kill the Dark Cat with that. He was just trying to go for the stun. Actually, the Harmonia is not a bad pick with the Dark Cat. Because Dark Cat's going to be left with like 0 HP. And it's like, oh, just do one of these. Is the Dark Cat going to solo? What is he going to do? What is he going to do? The Dark Cat's going to keep focusing the Occult Girl. Yeah. He needs to not crit, but everything's got 100% crit rate. There's nothing that he can do. He's got to hope for not do try to put not 100% crit rate on. There's nothing. There's nothing that he can do. There's absolutely nothing. Everything's got 100% crit rate on that team. That's GG. That is GG. The Dark Cat is actually going to be able to solo. That is incredible. That is incredible. That you, fantastic. This is why this is why this is actually being built. This is actually being used. And you can see the potential that this thing has. Light Wolf action. Let's see how they're picking it. Let's see. Okay, Ciara. They banned the DP. Well, they banned the DPS. There's other DPSs though. So they have multiple sources of strip. They have DPS. Is that sure going to be enough to actually nuke that Diana down? Oh, now it is. Now it definitely is. Massacre. You know what? The Massacre is nice against the Triana passive as well. Not against the Vanessa passive, but against the Triana passive. Massacre again, so it's on Violent. Okay. And there's not a whole lot of sustain on that team. The thing is, Ashir used to not really be... He was always had good skills, but he used to not really be too great because of his lower base stats. The base stats really are what make him viable. Like right there, he would have died right from that. And he took 2 hits from Pater. So if this was him without being 2-aid, he would have died easy. And this should finish him off. That should finish the Pater off. So that's a win based on that's a good win based on the fact that he has now better stats based on his Second Awakening. Even if the skills are mostly the same, his stats are good enough that he's able to hang with the big boys. Which is really the thing with a lot of 2As, why a lot of the 2As that weren't viable before the Second Awakenings, even out of the first batch, are now viable, like Lucia and things like that. Here we go, G3 versus G1, seems about fair. And we see double LD5s and triple Fairy Kings. One Daphnis is banned, okay. The Daphnis is the one that's banned. Let's see. They didn't ban, well, they had 2 speed leaders. So Ashir is built very fast to go right before, he's speed tuned to go right before the Ganymede. To make sure that they get the strip and the reset. Okay, makes sense. For the same reason a lot of people were doing the Hathor and the Ganymede, or Water Monkey Ganymede, making sure they're speed tuned. That's something that a lot of early game players don't realize. It's like, it's not just about having good runes on the units. It's about like, no matter what units that you pick, what is the turn order of all of them? Do you make sure that your strippers go before your defense breakers and your nukers? Do you make sure that they got a lot of CC? Oh my god, that Rika's gonna wreak havoc. Yeah, that Rika with no immunity, GG. GG. But what I was saying is, do you make sure that you're, that's what it's like to go up against the G3 player. But that Rika, there was nothing you could do against the amount of crazy CC. There was no immunity, so there's limited stuff that they could do. They just didn't have enough firepower. G3 Water Kitty Cat. Let's see. Bans the Fran. Okay, how fast are they going to be? How fast are both these going to be? There's no speed leads on either one of these. Chain attack and gets an extra turn. Finishes the job. Finishes the job. That's a lot of damage. A lot of damage output from that cat. Because the cat gets a guaranteed extra turn. So a lot of people building the cat on a Swift, I think. And she gets an extra turn when she crits. And she's got 100% crit rate on things that have no debuffs. That Ajir went down really fast. But it's an interesting cleave team. Look at this. Very high level player. Interesting cleave team. Lots and lots of DPS. And that's rune just speed crit damage. I don't know if that's speed crit damage attack or speed crit damage HP, but that's brutal. That's a brutal like slaughter with this water cat. Just does a lot of damage. Doesn't need high crit rate, but if the enemy has defense breaks, then the crit buff, the self-crit buff isn't really going to come into play. Okay, here's another one. Now, you can see from the first team that they're cleaving. And that's when the Dark Cat gets banned because it's too OP. Okay, we got some more Ashir now. Let's see how it does. Bans the Zeratu, bans the Juno, because the Juno is just going to turn all of that. Well, Juno's got the multi-haste to deal with Leica. Juno's also going to turn the Veligil buffs and the Bastet buffs into dots, which is going to be very brutal. So let's see how they do. Everything outsped the Bastet because remember, the Ashir has the attack gauge boost now after the second awakening. It's not just about the better stats, it's about the attack gauge boost too. So, does some damage to the Triana, hoping to finish off he will finish off the Triana for sure. And then Ciara can't do anything because a lot of immunity. We got the Massacre on, and now Ciara can start doing some bombs and detonate. Boom, boom. But then Leica maybe revenge. No, Leica does not revenge. GG, Leica. You thought you were going to revenge. So everyone's got this, everyone's got the Agirs on violent. Well, Leica's attack power buffed, and he's got crazy multipliers, and the multipliers go up after things die. So he had one thing die, so that's why he does decent damage. That would have done even more damage if it was pre-buff, because the Ashir got 100 more defense after the second awakening, not the buff second awakening. This is they're not gonna be able to do anything. That Leica's gonna wipe the floor with everything. Leica's generally not too hard to deal with, but in that specific situation, Leica was a great pick. Here's another Ashir one. Let's see how this one did. Ragdoll first pick. I feel like you can't even do RTA unless you have multiple LD5s. Or you can just stick Ashir in and see how... well, there's a huge disparity, G3 versus G1. Strips into CC. So, how fast is the Ashir? He's got really high base speed, though. Really high base speed, but you can see it's speed tuned. So even if they wanted to use the Okino skill 2, he could have skill 3'd into... oh my god. And then the luck happens. And it doesn't matter, because luck always goes to those who... The proc, look, everything is procking. Everything on the LD team is procking. Because they spent more money on the game, therefore they proc more. Bagel, you getting salty again? I'm just saying, it's an observation. It's an ovulation. It's an observation. The other one outsped and was going to do good, but then the shenanigans happened. Rain of Stones again, though. That's not bad. He's going to need to land all this, hope for not procs. He does still have enough DPS, and he has sustain on that team that he could still... hope for not procs. I don't know what I was thinking, hope for not procs. So they basically just stole the match based on violent procs. Oh, I forgot, this is RTA. That's why. This one should be interesting. This is one of my favorite players on the left-hand side. He loves to cleave. He does it really, really, really well. Let's see what he does with this Dark Martial. Cat gets banned. Here's another one of the Dark Cat. We have two Korean players, Krenz and something C. So we see normal first picks, pretty standard. We see double LD5s, and then we see the new LD5, and we see the 3 stars. I'm sorry, we see the 3. I don't have the right units for RTA. 3 stars get banned because they're the most OP units. I just want you guys to think about that the 3 stars are getting banned because they are the most OP monsters. Another one, famous for cleaving, decides he's not going to cleave. The Dark Cat makes it through. Okay, Dark Cat makes it through the pick ban phase. Let's see what the Dark Cat can do. Gets resisted on the defense break. Strip the other buffs, but gets resisted on the defense break. Unfortunate. Didn't finish it off with the Miho. Don't worry, Miho is going to solo everything, though. Full power punch on Tyrannus, fully stacks the Odin, goes in for it again. There we go. We got the Archangel's Mercy. And he's just going to keep trying to pish-posh down on the... She didn't need to do that, did she? Oh, no, he still had a second, didn't he? He still had a second. But, yeah, he had already revived, so that burned his cooldown on that. For the Tyrannus. So let's see. There's a lot of crits, though. There's a lot of crits. He's going to need to... So he's going for the Daphnis and the Tyrannus first. He's just going to ignore the Miho, which is a good strategy for now. But is there 100% crit rate on that Bulldozer? The Bulldozer could take out the Miho with skill 1. He may need to... I mean, there's going to be good crit rate on that Ragdoll. So... curious to see what happens. What are the crit rates on these things? Gets resisted. That's unfortunate, probably. No, that's definitely... it's probably unfortunate. No, it's definitely unfortunate. He can kill the Miho with the Light Sylphin. But, does he? Or does he not? Because his Miho could just go crazy. Gets the Eladriel back. But Eladriel can't do anything. Oh, that Eladriel is on Nemesis too. So the Eladriel takes down a Bulldozer. Typical Eladriel in Summoner's War takes down a Bulldozer. GG. Right? So I really want to see... Ooh. She got the Blessing of the Wind now. And she's on Violence, so she got the Strong Gust. Resisted. The Miho's going to take down the Ragdoll. The Miho takes down the Ragdoll. But I wanted to see what would have happened in a different situation. I wanted to see what would have potentially happened. We didn't see too much Miho insanity. I wanted to see like a 3v1 situation against the Miho, and then the Miho come out on top. We didn't see it. Maybe next time. Here we go. We have some OP against Miho. I never picked Triana. I'm not a huge fan of Triana. She's annoying to fight against sometimes. I don't know. I never picked Triana. So this shouldn't be that hard. Like, as long as he doesn't keep laying the Ciara into the Miho, it should be fine. He could just kill with the dot. Yeah, he could just kill with the Ciara dot. The Ciara bomb. Because the bomb doesn't crit. If he detonates and crits. Let's see. Oh, like I said, the dot from Ciara. And he's still critting on the Miho, though. Why did he hit the Miho with that Ciara? That seemed silly. He didn't need to do that. What am I, backseat gaming? He didn't need to do that. I'm smarter than him. He's G3. Am I G3? No, I'm not G3. Although he's G3 and has like Gianna and other toxic stuff, so I don't exactly have Gianna. But he's waking the Miho up now. He's waking the Miho up. And Ciara's gonna take the full brutal damage of that. He took too much damage on the Ciara that he didn't need to do by doing this. He's critting with the Bulwark. Always good to crit with Bulwark. If I had Bulwark, I would specifically rune him with low crit rate. For the same reason that I think Rika is good with low crit rate. So he shouldn't have that much problem with the Miho as long as he doesn't have high crit rate on these units. But some people like to put the high crit rate on the Triana. By the way, Bulwark is a great counter to Antares. So you see an Antares pick, you'd be like, oh, Bulwark. That's a pretty common high level thing. But if maybe some people that are low to mid level don't know, that's a pretty good counter. So the thing is, like, you can't pick Miho into something like in a Lucia or other things that don't crit, and yeah. So he's gonna do some heals. I feel like the G3 player did the Korean player is taking more damage than he really needs to be honest. And he let that the Ciara didn't last as long because of that. So I feel like there was misplays there, in my personal opinion. He's going so heavy for the Miho, he should be going for other things and leave the Miho till last. And because like he triple hit, he knew he was gonna crit with that Ciara first skill. Because people build Ciara with crit rate now, so in my opinion, there was some misplays going on there. Again, I'm not G3, but I just feel like there was a little playing against the Miho. I would have played a little bit differently. Here's a Singapore player and a Chinese player. Bans the Miho! Okay, two G3 players and one's picking Ragdoll. Artemil Ragdoll. If we see Miho ban, okay, there's no Miho ban. We didn't see the Miho ban, but already Bastet and Tableau can deal with the Miho. Can deal with that. I'm surprised that this is... The Daphne is going to have a hard time. Actually, the Daphnis might not. Daphnis might not have a hard time because Daphnis may not be... A lot of people don't run Daphnis max crit. So, Daphnis first skill shouldn't have that hard of a time. Return dice. Another nuke. Does he choose to go for the nuke on the Tyrannus? He was hoping for the defense break. Didn't get the defense break. Didn't even go for the skill 3 after that. That we really didn't get to see too much Miho action, though. We saw a little tiny bit. There's no shortage of Miho. There really isn't. Let's see what happens. Okay. Does the Miho get banned? No, Lauren gets... The other LD3 gets banned. Over Hathor and Tyrannus. Why do you even need to summon LD5s? There's no reason. There's no reason to summon LD5s in Summoner's War anymore. You just build some 3 stars, you're fine. There's no... Well, actually, there is sustain. There's no heal, but there is sustain. Because if you think about it, the Tyrannus can keep doing the defense buff. He can keep reviving, which does kind of give them HP, but it's not quite the same. You can get a lot of value out of that Hathor. Sometimes you have to do it anyway, but I always feel bad. Like I always feel like if I'm doing Hathor on like 1 or 2 units, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this. Let's see, Wild Blow and the Daphnis. Daphnis usually not built max crit though. This is gonna be a problem for them though. They got a bunch of multi-hits. They got a bunch of things that are gonna just a little ping onto the Miho. That's a perfect example. That's a perfect example right there. The Daphnis was not built with max crit, and that's something that can take down the Miho. That's something that took it down. So that's probably one of the things like you're gonna see people able to counter it after a while. Like it's gonna do really well now, and then people are just gonna like know like okay, I may see a Miho, but the Lauren's already a counter to it. The Daphnis without max crit. Hey guys, are your runes not that great? This could work to your favor, in your advantage when you're fighting against one of those dark cats. GG. Here is yet another Miho. I'm just kidding. It's the water one. It's the water one. So let's see how G3. It's the same player actually from the last one, isn't it? From last time we got to see the water cat. So let's see what they are capable of. Is that a Swift Lauren? Swift Fran. Very fast Fran. Chain attack onto the Vertiheal. That's a nice way of taking down that that Vertiheal fast. Maybe that's the goal. Maybe that's the game plan. Yeah, that's the Vertiheal counter. Vertiheal counter water cat. I don't mind that. F Vertiheal. Anything that can counter Vertiheal is good in my book. I already want to build her. Gets the bomb on there. And now she's gonna have that skill cooldown. I mean, the healing music cooldown. Available. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. And remember, that's not Miho, so she got that really fast and less procs. And bye-bye Water Cat. At least we got to see more of what she's capable of. She is a nice Vertiheal counter. I think that's maybe where they're picking him. Let's see some more of these. Well, I guess fine. We'll see who wins the match. I feel like it's the CR team. Defense break and bombs. I feel like that's the one that wins. This first team is almost free to play. G3. This is a free to play G3 team. Free to play G3 team against all Nat 5s. Please win with the Nat 3s. Please. Runes conquer all. Let's go. Let's go. Resisted. Ooh. Almost just straight out. Well, they have a very fast Fran though. But almost just straight away to that's going for that. Yeah, that's going after the cat, of course. Please don't kill the cat. Please don't kill the cat. Don't kill the cat. I want to see the cat do kitty things. This is a new thing. God, that's just kitty doing kitty things. Ain't nothing but a thing. No, what are you doing? What are you do? Oh, there we go. There we go. Team up against the Hathor. Oh, just Inugami doing Inugami thing. Don't kill the Miho. I mean, not the Miho. Water meow meow. Just Diana doing giant. Yeah, let's see. Let's see more Kitty doing kitty things. Though I'm aware that Kitty's not in it anymore, but I want to see more Kitty. Oh. Need to R5 a little bit more for that extra grind. See, that's dangerous though. That Lauren could be on Revenge, and Revenge Laurens are really scary against the Dianas. Really scary. Got that attack gauge decrease. I want to see more kitty, though. More kitty action. Still going after that. No revenge. Might not be on revenge. But it is dangerous on revenge. Oh! And GG. Oh, and not GG. He needs to get more damage on that Fire Nagami. That's all I'm saying. Here we go. It's time for some more. And this is almost free to play. Now it's free to play. Now it's almost farmable. All you need is a Triana. You summon a Triana, you're set. You can build this team. That's great. It's great to see at this level. Just takes down the Daphnis. Just so fast, Fran. Just to give, because I think it needs the attack power buff to be able to do that. That's got to be a 300 speed water cat. Like a 300 speed swift Fran, and then the water cat, and just nukes things down. Nukes the Daphnis down, nukes the Vertiheel down. I love that. That's fantastic. I'm really enjoying that. Okay, end of video review. What did we learn here? We learned two very important things. One is that the water cat's name is Mina, which I never cared enough to know about before, but now seeing what she can do with a 300 speed swift set with a 300 speed Fran. I mean, you do need crazy good runes to make that happen, but you could take down a Daphnis, you could take down the Vertiheel, because generally they're not really runed too crazy. So Mina's definitely a nice unit if you have the rune power behind her and in the right situations. Like, I probably wouldn't use a Mina against like Gani Hathor or Ciara. Probably not the best place to stick a Mina in, but when the enemy's picking a Vertiheel and a Daphnis, maybe consider that, because not a terrible pick in that situation, especially with the amount. Like, look at her stats. Her stats are really nice for a 3-star. I mean, after her second awakening, 109 base speed. That's pretty. It's easier to get something on 300 speed than, like, for example, a Bastet. Where's Bastet's base speed? Bastet, 99? Yeah, 99 base speed. It's 20 speed higher, so it's definitely easier to get her to 300 speed while still having other stats. And she can snipe out a Daphnis, she can snipe out a Vertiheel. The end of Vertiheels! Please make this the end of Vertiheels. So I'm starting to respect Mina more now. I always liked her base speed. If you remember from the first video that I did where I initially was like, oh, what are these cats? You know, it could be very interesting to pay attention to. Base speed is very important in the game. It could make things more viable. I wish we saw the water werewolf, but that's fine because I plan on building him anyway, so. Well, actually, I already have him built on 2 accounts. Actually, I'm already almost done Second Awakening. Next video, water werewolf video. And I thought we were gonna like maybe at least find like 1 or 2 in RTA. We didn't find any. The Mina's looking very nice. The Miho is already meta. It's already a meta unit. If you want it, that's a good option to have in the bag for a last pick in RTA. There's a lot of stuff that can already counter it. So if you see counters already coming out to the Miho, like support units that have a little bit of attack power built in, like if he's Fran, a Lucia, things like that. Even a Daphnis, like as we saw, can counter it. But if you see things like the Vertiheel and the Diana, those are going to crit all the time. Not a bad idea. Lucian's going to be built with super high crit rate, if not 100% crit rate. So if everything on the enemy's team is built with super high crit rate, it's kind of safe to build the Miho. Kind of safe to bring the Miho into that. So she is definitely a last pick situation. She also has 109 base speed. The Ashir was doing okay. Where's Ashir? I thought we were actually going to see her. I didn't see any of her. The Ashirs were doing okay. Ashir's got great base speed too. But if you look at it, all the stuff that's really being used is stuff that has crazy high base speed. So, because speed is king, right? Summoner's War, speed is king. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. There's just some information some information and some being able to watch different matches of who's being used where, what's being used the most in RTA, what's meta relevant. Remember, this is not Guild Wars, this is not Guild Siege. Some other units may be much more viable in those areas, like for example the fire ones I kind of like. I've been even using the fire werewolf, like not even as a gimmick, like just for the video. It's like I did some Siege the other day and I used the fire werewolf and I didn't record it. I was just like, he's gonna be good here, and I stuck him in and I used him and he was good there. The cat, I didn't do Siege on that on the China server account, so I didn't get to use the cat. But I would definitely use the cat more. I'm probably gonna build the water cat on my main. Some of these units are decent though, but I wouldn't build the fire cat for RTA. I would build the Dark Cat for RTA, Fire Cat for Guild Siege. The werewolves are pretty nice, though. Anyway, that's it for this. So I'm just going to stop talking. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.